has basically been over, and immediately, as soon as like Grand Fest ended, everyone was talking about Splatoon 4. When is Splatoon 4 gonna come out? Alright, what is Splatoon 4 gonna be like? And I'm actually really scared for Splatoon 4 and when it will release, because recently Botox Games, he made a video about like the whole 2025 Switch 2 lineup, and I'm just gonna play this clip here for you and you can hear it for yourself.
Future. In July 2025, I think we're gonna get Splatoon 4. Hear me out. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's way too early for Splatoon 4. We just got Splatoon 3. Final Fest just happened last year. That's true. And maybe it is too soon. And I would agree that I don't even really want Splatoon 4 this year. However, ever since 2015, Nintendo has constantly tried to have Splatoon in the zeitgeist, in the conversation. 2015 it releases, has DLC throughout 2015 into early 2016. Then they announced Splatoon 2 or tease it in the Switch 2 reveal trailer. We get it just a year later in 2017. And then it kind of gets a little weird. There were a couple years where there wasn't any massive Splatoon 2 updates, but I don't think that was the intention because COVID happened. Because if you remember, they had that Save Our Salmonids teaser, and then the game wasn't announced for like almost a full year. So I think the intention was always to get Splatoon 3 out earlier than they did. Took a little bit more time though. And with Final Fest wrapping up last year, and with 2025 being the 10-year anniversary of Splatoon on the Wii U, I think this is a game they want to have early on. It is a system seller, especially in Japan. It is one of the few games that Nintendo actually supports on the competitive scene, and maybe most importantly, it is a huge Switch Online draw. If their goal is always to get more subscribers on Switch Online, having Mario Kart into Splatoon 4 is a double whammy that would get anybody to subscribe so they can play online with their friends. So I think Splatoon 4 is actually a lot sooner than people think. I think we will get that in July of this year. On the other,
I really don't want Splatoon 4 to come out in June. That is way too early. And this is for multiple reasons. The first reason being, I'm just kind of burnt out from Splatoon right now. Like, Splatoon 3 was my first Splatoon game where I was actually there pre-launch, through the entire life cycle of it, and then into post-launch. Like, I didn't start playing Splatoon until Splatoon 2, and that was in 2020, after which all of the updates were over anyway, and then Splatoon 3 got announced a couple years later, if not like a year later. So I was here for the entirety of Splatoon 3, the pre-release hype through the entire game and all of its changes and updates, and then till now. So I've been playing Splatoon straight on for like 2 years, 2.5 years, and it's kind of draining. Like, I'm kind of burnt out from Splatoon right now, considering how much I've actually been playing the game, considering I have an entire YouTube channel dedicated to it, so I kind of have to play the game to get a lot of background footage, and naturally having my own Splatoon Discord server I'm going to be playing a lot. So I'm kind of just burnt out from Splatoon, and having another Splatoon game already in June is just like, burnout is not going to go away that quickly. Give it like another year and then maybe I'll be in the mood for another Splatoon game. But June seems like way too early, but I mean, Bo gave some pretty interesting points, and it's a very fair take. Like, it kind of would make sense financially to drop Splatoon in June, but fuck, bro, the burnout would just be a bitch. And secondly, this is more of like a petty reason, but if Splatoon 4 did come out in June along with the Switch 2 and it was like a launch title, I wouldn't be able to play it because I won't have a Switch 2. I'm not able to get it on launch day or really any time close to launch day for certain reasons. So I'd have no way to play Splatoon 4, so I'd be kind of pissed off that everyone else is playing it, but I can't play it. So I don't really want Splatoon 4 to happen that early. And third, this one is probably most understandable, but I feel like the game needs more time to develop. Like what Bo was saying, Splatoon was always supposed to like be in the limelight. Like Splatoon 2 came out a year after Splatoon 1 finished its updates, and then Splatoon 3 was probably going to be like a year after that, but then COVID happened, so that pushed everything back. So now they're going to drop Splatoon 4 a year after Splatoon 3 happened, and it's just like Splatoon 1 and 2. 1 was on the Wii U, brand new console, Splatoon game first year, so they could very well do that again with the Switch 2 and Splatoon 4. But I really hope not, alright? I'm just really burnt out from Splatoon right now, and given how not so well received Splatoon 3 was in the fandom, like, don't get me wrong, Splatoon 3 is a great game, and it was, like, critically acclaimed. Like, overall, in the grand scheme, it was received pretty well. But the fandom has a lot of criticisms about Splatoon 3, a lot of fair criticisms about Splatoon 3, and I really want them to take their time to iron out the kinks and actually, like, polish this game, Splatoon 4, if it does happen. Polish it and make it as great as they can. And please, for the love of fuck, please bring Kensa weapons back. I desperately miss my Kensa Ludo Blaster with my Sploder Cannon Ink Store. Please, I need it back. However, contrary to that point, Splatoon 3 is a stopping point for the Splatoon series right now. It is the last game in that storyline of the Inklings versus Octolings. It concluded that storyline. Now, that is not to say Splatoon is over. I still don't understand how people think this. Just like with Xenoblade, Xenoblade 3 was a stopping point. It wrapped up the Cloud Saga and finished off that storyline. Now it's time for a new storyline. Same with Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 wrapped up that storyline, and now it's time for a new one. And for some reason, people tend to think that that means Splatoon is over. They said it was the end of this Splatastic saga, meaning this storyline, not the entire fucking series. Splatoon makes Nintendo way too much money. There is no way they're, like, stopping at 3. It's just this storyline. I don't know how people still can't get that through their heads. But since this is the last game in the storyline, it would be a nice stopping point, so Nintendo could, like, kind of take a break from Splatoon and maybe make a spin-off for Splatoon, like a Splatoon spin-off game, or just put Splatoon 4 in development a little bit longer, maybe for, like, another year at most, so it'd still be like a relatively new Switch 2 game, because Switch 2 is still going to be there's still going to be a lot of hype around it. It's still relatively new, even next year in 2026. So they can drop Splatoon next year in 2026. Who fucking knows? But I just really hope Splatoon 4 doesn't come out this June. I really don't want it to come out this early, especially not this year. Give me some time to actually get a Switch 2. Like, goddamn. But yeah, that's really about it. I'm kind of just scared for Splatoon 4. I want this game to be good. I mean, I already enjoyed Splatoon 3, but Splatoon 4, if it's anything like Splatoon 2, I am here for it. Splatoon 2 is my favorite out of the 3. It's got my favorite mask, my favorite weapons, everything about it, the music. It's just so nostalgic and iconic to me. Even though I didn't start playing it until after updates were over, so that doesn't make any sense. But you know what? It just feels really nostalgic. So 4 is anything like 2, yes, please. Please take your time to make this a decent game that people actually enjoy playing. Okay, Splatoon 3 took a lot of steps in the right direction, but it also severely underperformed in other places, such as the maps. But that's something we've heard all the, what, I'm just blanked out. What was I even trying to say? That's something we've heard many a times before. But yeah, that's really about it. See you next mission and play some goddamn Splatty.